We're the show that digs into fascinating sources, pulls out the best bits, the real insights, and lays them out for you.
Trying to make sense of it all.
Exactly. And today, today we're tackling something really compelling. This idea that you can genuinely transform your life, like really change things in just 6 months.
Yeah, it sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? 6 months.
It does. Our main source here is this audiobook, 6 Months to Transform Your Life. And just to be clear up front, it's not promising some kind of instant magic wand fix.
No, definitely not. It's more about a framework, right, for focused, intentional change over those 180 days.
Precisely. Intentional, powerful transformation. So the big question we're asking today is, are you ready? Ready to unlock the secrets, the blueprint for changing pretty much everything in half a year?
And that's really what we're aiming for in this deep dive. We want to pull out the core ideas, the actual strategies you can use, and maybe understand the why behind it all.
Yeah, the philosophy underneath.
Right. It's a mix of practical steps and those crucial mindset shifts, stuff you can hopefully take away and actually, use.
Okay, let's jump right in then. The big one. Why 6 months? Seriously, why that specific number? Not a month, not a year. Why 180 days?
It's the first question you have to ask.
Totally. And the source hits you with this paradox, which I thought was brilliant. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week, but underestimate what they can accomplish in 6 months.
That really lands. We do that, don't we? Think we can overhaul everything in 7 days.
And then get disappointed. But 6 months feels like a long time, maybe, or maybe not long enough. What's the magic there?
Well, the source argues it's this perfect sweet spot, both psychologically and practically. It says 6 months is long enough to see real transformation, yet short enough to stay focused. Let's unpack that a bit.
Okay.
Think about a week. You might get a burst of energy, start strong, but can you really form a deep habit, learn a complex skill? Probably not. It's just too short for anything sustainable to take root.
Right, you might just burn out trying.
Exactly. Or you get superficial results that don't last. Now, flip that. A year. Sure, you can achieve massive things in a year, but it often feels so far away.
Yeah, like climbing Mount Everest. The summit's way off in the distance.
Precisely. So you procrastinate. That New Year's resolution energy. It fizzles out by February because the end goal feels, endless. There's no immediate pressure, no defined endpoint pulling you forward.
Okay, so 6 months avoids both those traps.
That's the idea. It's like, it's long enough for the compound effect to really kick in. Those tiny daily actions.
And ones that seem insignificant at first.
Yeah. Over 180 days, they actually build into something substantial. Habits solidify,
right.
Skills become ingrained. Your brain literally has time to rewire itself. Mindsets can genuinely shift.
Rewire, like neuroplasticity.
Exactly that. But it's also short enough that the end is always kind of in sight. It keeps the motivation high, creates a sense of accountability without feeling completely overwhelming. It's structured, a clear beginning, a clear end.
Not just this vague, someday I'll change idea.
Right. It's a balance, like a focused marathon maybe. Not a sprint, not an endless trek. It provides that urgency without the burnout.
That makes a lot of sense. It frames it differently. It gives you that runway, but also a clear target. So when they say change your entire life, what kind of things are we actually talking about? Is it realistic?
Well, the source is surprisingly specific, which I think is really helpful. It's not just pie-in-the-sky stuff. It lists a whole range of pretty significant achievements that are genuinely possible in 6 months, assuming you put in the work, obviously.
Okay, like what? Give me some examples.
All right, so according to the audiobook, in 6 months, you could realistically learn a new skill, not just dabble, but actually get proficient. Think coding, a language, an instrument.
Okay, tangible skills.
Yeah. Or build a side hustle one that's actually making money, moving beyond just an idea.
Wow, okay. That's significant.
It is. Or lose 10, 20 kilos, but the healthy, sustainable way, not some crash diet, real body composition change.
Health transformation, got it.
Heal from heartbreak, which points to the deep emotional work that's possible in this time frame.
That's a big one. 6 months for that.
It suggests it's enough time for real processing and building resilience. Also, master a new habit so it becomes automatic. Write a book.
A whole book in 6 months.
Apparently requires focus, obviously. Change your mindset, maybe the most fundamental one.
Deeper than just actions.
Exactly. And yeah, even change your entire lifestyle, your routines, energy, maybe even your social circle, finances, sense of purpose.
Okay, that list is comprehensive. It really paints a picture of deep change across the board, not just tinkering around the edges.
It really does. It shows the potential when you have that focused time frame, and crucially, the consistent effort.
Ah, yes, the effort. That brings us to the catch, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because the source is super direct about this. You have to show up every single day.
No skipping allowed.
Well, it says not perfectly, but consistently. That's the key phrase. Consistency is where the magic happens. It's not about being flawless, but just being there, doing the thing.
Absolutely. Consistency is the engine. Without it, the whole thing stalls. And this ties right back into that neuroplasticity idea we touched on.
How so?
Think of your brain like a landscape you're constantly shaping. Every time you repeat an action, even a tiny one, journaling for 5 minutes, choosing water over soda, reading those 10 pages, you're carving a pathway.
Like a trail in the woods.
Exactly. At first, it's faint, maybe overgrown, but keep walking it every day consistently, and it becomes clearer, wider, easier to travel. It turns into a road, then maybe a highway. The action becomes more automatic.
So the magic is actually your brain adapting, making the hard stuff easier over time.
Precisely. That's habit formation in a nutshell. It's not about these huge, dramatic bursts of effort once a month. It's the small, steady steps, day after day, like compound interest for your personal growth.
Ooh, I like that analogy. Compound interest.
Yeah. A small deposit of effort today might seem tiny, but do it every day for 180 days. It grows exponentially. Think about saving money. It's the consistent deposits, not the one lottery win. Or learning guitar 30 minutes daily beats 8 hours once a month, every time.
Or growing a plant, maybe. Daily watering.
Perfect example. Daily attention yields the harvest. Showing up imperfectly but consistently, that beats waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect mood, which might never come.
Okay, I'm sold on the time frame. I get the power of consistency. So someone's listening, they're committed. Where on earth do they start? It feels huge.
It can feel overwhelming for sure, but the source gives a very clear starting point. Inside, it makes this really bold claim. Before you change your life, you must first change your mind.
Okay, change your mind first. Is this just thinking positive thoughts? Like The Secret?
It goes way deeper than that. It's not just wishful thinking. It's about fundamentally shifting how you see yourself, what you believe is possible for you, the story you tell yourself about yourself.
The internal narrative.
Exactly. The source lays out this chain reaction. Your beliefs shape your habits shape your identity, and your identity determines your results.
Beliefs, habits, identity, results. Okay, break that down.
So if deep down you believe, maybe unconsciously, that you're just not the kind of person who can stick to things, or that you don't really deserve success,
Then your actions will probably reflect that. Self-sabotage, maybe.
bingo. You'll find ways to fail, or you won't even see opportunities because your belief system is filtering them out. That reinforces the identity. See, I told you I couldn't do it, and the results stay the same.
Wow. So you have to excavate those beliefs first.
You have to. The book pushes you to ask tough questions. What do I really believe about success? Am I worthy of a better life? Am I dragging my past failures around like anchors?
Oof. Heavy questions.
They are, but necessary, because the core message here is incredibly freeing. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are the author of your story, and this chapter starts now.
That's powerful. It's giving you permission to start fresh.
Total permission. Rewrite the script. Let go of the old definitions of yourself that are holding you back. Build a new internal foundation before you start trying to build the external life.
Okay, and this is where it gets really practical. Moving from just thinking about beliefs to actively doing something with your mind. The source suggests this specific affirmation.
Yes, the affirmation.
I am becoming the best version of myself.
Yeah.
I am capable. I am committed. I am changing my life. And it says repeat it daily with real feeling. What's the science behind that? Does just saying it actually do anything?
It absolutely does. And it's not woo-woo. It taps directly into neuroscience. Your brain tends to believe what it hears repeatedly, especially from you. It shapes your self-talk, which in turn influences your neural pathways and something called the reticular activating system, the RAS.
The RAS, what's that?
Think of it like your brain's gatekeeper or filter. It decides what information gets your attention based on what it thinks is important to you. So when you consistently affirm, I am capable, I am committed, you're essentially telling your RAS, hey, pay attention to evidence of capability, look for opportunities to be committed. You start to notice things you wouldn't have before.
You're programming your own filter.
You are. You're actively building new neural pathways that support this new identity. It becomes a kind of positive, self-fulfilling prophecy. You start acting in ways that align with I am capable because your brain is primed to see yourself that way. You shift from observer to creator.
Okay, mind reprogramming underway. What's next? Once the internal shift starts, the source moves outward, right, to your environment.
Yeah, the next step is clearing space, literally and figuratively. It says, if you want a new life, create space for it. And that punchy line, a cluttered space, a cluttered mind.
I feel that one. My desk is proof.
We all feel it.
Right.
And it's more than just aesthetics. A messy environment, physical or digital, creates mental friction. It increases your cognitive load.
Cognitive load, like too much for the brain to process.
Exactly. Your brain uses energy just trying to filter out the noise, the piles of paper, the endless phone notifications, the 50 browser tabs. Decluttering literally frees up that mental bandwidth.
Less distraction, more focus.
Precisely. So you can focus on what matters, not on the chaos. The book gets really specific here. Clean your room, tidy your workspace, delete distracting apps, organize your phone's home screen.
Digital decluttering, too. That's huge these days.
Massive. And then there's the social element. Unfollow people who drain you. Extending that decluttering idea to your social feeds, the energy you let in.
Ooh, that's interesting. Unfollowing draining people.
It's about protecting your energy, creating an environment, physical, digital, social manner that actively supports the new you, not drags you down. Think about a digital detox, less scrolling, more clarity, better decisions. Unfollowing negativity is setting boundaries. It's all connected.
So clear the physical, clear the digital, clear the social noise. But it's not just about removal, is it? It's also about what you add mentally.
Exactly. You clear the weeds, then you plant the garden. Once the space is clearer, you need consistent mental hygiene practices to maintain that clarity and actually foster growth.
Mental hygiene. I like that term. Like brushing your mental teeth.
Kind of. And the source highlights 3 big ones: journaling, meditation, gratitude.
Okay, let's take those one by one. Journaling.
It's like a mental decluttering tool. Processing thoughts, externalizing worries, getting clarity on emotions, goals, patterns, untangling the mental knots, your daily debrief with yourself.
Makes sense. Meditation. Even just 10 minutes.
Yeah, the source emphasizes consistency over duration. 10 minutes daily trains your attention, helps you observe thoughts without judgment, reduces reactivity, builds focus and stress management muscles.
And gratitude. How does that fit in?
It's a perspective shifter. Actively looking for and acknowledging the good flips the script from lack to abundance. It counteracts negativity, comparison, self-pity. You train your brain to see the positive.
So these practices actively build mental resilience and clarity.
They do. And they're the direct antidote to things like doom scrolling, flooding your brain with negativity or gossip, which just fuels comparison and drains energy. You swap the draining habits for nourishing ones. You're building that inner sanctuary.
Okay, mindset shifting, space cleared, mental hygiene habits starting. What's next? Because motivation alone won't cut it, right? That feeling comes and goes.
Exactly. Motivation is fickle. It's a feeling. You can't rely on it. That's why the source makes this crucial distinction. You don't need motivation every day. You need systems and habits.
Systems and habits over motivation. Okay, how does that work?
Systems and habits are what carry you through when motivation takes a nosedive. They make the desired actions automatic, removing the need for constant willpower. You design your day, your environment, so the right choices are the easy choices, or at least the default ones.
Automating success.
That's the goal. And the book lays out 5 powerhouse habits to build over the 6 months. These are the core building blocks.
Okay, what are the big 5?
Number 1, wake up early, even just 30 minutes earlier. Gives you that power hour quiet time for you before the day's chaos hits. Plan, meditate, exercise, focus. Sets a proactive tone.
Control the morning, control the day.
Yep.
Got it. Number 2.
Read daily. Remember the stat. 10 pages a day is 18 books in 6 months. Compounding knowledge, building that foundation.
Small input, huge output over time.
Okay. 3, exercise. Simple advice. Walk, stretch, work out. Move your body. Consistency over intensity. Just get moving. Good for body, great for mind.
Makes sense. 4.
Journal. We keep coming back to this, but it's key. Reflect, plan, process emotions. Daily self-awareness check-in.
Right. And the 5th.
Digital discipline. Less scrolling, more doing. Reclaiming your time and attention from screens. Master your device, don't let it master you.
Those 5 seem foundational and doable if taken one step at a time.
They are, and the source gives you a great tool to make them stick. Habit stacking.
Yes. the formula. Habit plus trigger, consistency. Explain that. How does stacking work?
It's super clever, based on how our brains already work. You attach a new habit you want to form onto an existing habit that's already automatic. The old habit acts as the trigger for the new one.
So you piggyback the new habit onto something you already do without thinking.
Exactly. Like the example. After brushing your teeth, existing habit, the trigger, do 10 push-ups, new habit. You finish brushing, bam, cue for push-ups, no decision needed.
Or, after my morning coffee, read 10 pages.
Perfect. Or after dinner, journal for 5 minutes. You leverage the existing neural pathway. It makes adoption way easier, less reliant on willpower.
That's smart. It bypasses the should I or shouldn't I debate.
Totally. And imagine stacking small habits like this over 180 days. It's not just individual habits anymore. It's an interconnected system, a whole new lifestyle emerging. Like the source says, in 6 months, your habits will become your lifestyle. It becomes automatic, effortless almost.
Almost. Because let's be real, building habits, even stacked ones, isn't always a smooth ride. Life happens, you get tired, you slip up.
Absolutely. And that's where the D word comes in. Discipline.
Discipline, often seen as the hard part. The source calls it the bridge between goals and achievement.
It really is. Because discipline is what you lean on when motivation vanishes. It's not about being perfect or feeling energized all the time. It's about, and this is key, showing up even when you don't feel like it.
Even when it's tough.
Especially when it's tough. The source is honest about it. There will be days you're tired, days you want to quit, days nobody notices or cheers you on, days the results feel miles away.
Those are the moments discipline kicks in.
That's when you need it most. It's that inner voice that says, do it anyway. Remembering your why, trusting the process, persisting when no one's watching.
It's not about forcing yourself into misery, though.
No, it's about understanding the long game. That short-term discomfort of pushing through resistance is temporary. But the source gives this really stark warning. Discipline feels hard now, but regret feels harder later.
Oof, that hits home. Pain of regret lasts longer than the pain of effort.
Way longer. Discipline builds a future free from that what-if regret. It's a gift to your future self.
Okay, so we're building internal strength, habits, discipline, but we don't live in a vacuum, right? What about the outside world? People.
Crucial point. As you build yourself up, who you surround yourself with becomes paramount. The source is blunt. In the next 6 months, you need to protect your energy. And that famous line, you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Choose your influences wisely.
Very wisely. Are people draining you, leaving you feeling negative or small? Or are they lifting you up, challenging you, supporting your growth? Identifying the energy vampires versus the growth-minded people.
Energy vampires.
Yeah.
Harsh, but descriptive.
It is. The questions to ask are, who drains me? Who supports me? Who challenges me to be better? You have to actively curate your circle.
Curate your circle. Like Marie Kondo for friends.
Sort of, yeah. Because distance from negativity is growth. Distance from distraction is clarity. It frees up so much mental and emotional energy.
So what are the practical steps? Avoid negative people. Find new friends.
It involves several things. Joining online communities or groups aligned with your goals. Listening to empowering podcasts. Like this one, hopefully.
Yes.
Following inspiring people online. Attending workshops or meetups. And importantly, learning to say no without guilt to those energy vampires. Those requests or interactions that deplete you.
Setting boundaries. That's tough, but necessary.
Essential for protecting your journey. You value your transformation enough to safeguard it.
Okay, moving from people to another very practical area. Money. Personal growth is great, but financial stress can undermine everything. The source says, 6 months is enough to change your money mindset.
Yeah, and this is super empowering because managing money is presented as a skill you can learn, not some innate talent. Small, consistent financial habits over 6 months, they can lead to big financial freedom later.
It's not just about earning more, but managing what you have.
Exactly. Money is not just earned, it's managed. That's a core mindset shift. You could earn a fortune and be broke, or earn modestly and build wealth through smart management.
So what are the beginner steps for financial transformation in 6 months?
Very clear, actionable stuff. 1, track your spending. You need awareness. Where does it actually go? Use an app, spreadsheet, notebook, whatever works.
Know your numbers. Okay. 2,
Make a monthly budget. Give your money a job. It's not restriction, it's intentional allocation. A plan.
got it. Budgeting. 3,
Cancel unnecessary subscriptions, those little leaks. Find the zombie subscriptions draining your account for things you don't even use.
oh yeah, the subscription creep is real. 4,
Start a savings or emergency fund, even small amounts, consistently. Builds that safety net, that peace of mind, that saving habit.
Crucial. 5.
Learn about investing. Move beyond just saving to actually growing your money. Books, YouTube, courses, the knowledge is accessible.
So track, budget, cut, save, learn. Seems doable.
Totally. And then the source adds another layer. Consider a side hustle.
Earning more on the side.
Yeah. Freelancing, selling something, tutoring, leveraging skills, maybe even new ones you've learned in these 6 months. It boosts income, builds resilience, gives you more agency.
Okay, that covers the practical external stuff. But what about the internal weather? Our emotions, that seems huge.
It's arguably one of the deepest layers. The source stresses emotional strength is underrated, and to grow in 6 months, you need emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. What does that mean in this context? Being calm all the time?
Not at all. It's not about not feeling. It's about understanding, acknowledging, and managing feelings effectively. Learning to respond consciously rather than react impulsively, creating that space between trigger and action.
Respond, don't react.
Okay, and a huge part of it is learning to sit with uncomfortable feelings instead of immediately distracting yourself.
Oof, that sounds uncomfortable.
It is, but that's where healing happens. So many of us use scrolling, binge watching, overworking, anything to avoid feeling grief or fear or anger. But the source is clear. You can't heal if you keep distracting yourself.
You have to face the feelings.
You do. Other pieces of this emotional mastery include forgiveness of others and, crucially, of yourself. Letting go of resentment frees up massive energy.
Makes sense. What else?
Saying no without guilt, back to boundaries again, and practicing stillness, solitude, taking time to actually check in. How am I feeling? What triggered that? What do I need? Building that self-awareness.
It sounds like becoming your own emotional caretaker.
That's a great way to put it. It leads to that beautiful idea. Heal quietly, grow privately, shine loudly. The deep internal work allows the external radiance.
Heal quietly, grow privately, shine loudly. I like that. So as all this work is happening, habits, environment, emotions, there's one more tool, visualization.
Yes. Visualize your new life. And this isn't just idle daydreaming, it's a strategic mental exercise.
How does it work? Why visualize?
It creates a mental blueprint. It engages your brain, aligns your subconscious with your goals, primes that RAS filter we talked about to spot opportunities. The source says, visualization creates direction. Direction creates momentum. Momentum creates change.
Okay, so it points your brain where you want to go.
Exactly. It guides you to really picture yourself 6 months from now. Confident, healthy, focused, disciplined, at peace, surrounded by growth. Feel it.
Make it real in your mind.
Yes. What does your ideal day look like? Where are you? How do you feel waking up? Who's around you? The more sensory detail, the better. Trick your brain into believing it's possible, even inevitable.
And then write it down.
Crucial step. Now write it down. Describe your ideal day, your future self, your vision. Writing makes it concrete. A tangible target you revisit, reinforcing the commitment.
Okay, we've covered mindset, habits, discipline, environment, money, emotions, vision. A lot of pieces.
Yeah.
How does it all fit together into the actual 6 months? Is there a plan?
There absolutely is. The source provides a month-by-month roadmap, which is incredibly helpful. It breaks it down, prevents overwhelm, builds layer by layer.
Okay, walk us through the roadmap. Month 1. Month 1 is reset. Clean your space, physical, digital. Fix your sleep schedule foundational. Build just 1 or 2 small core habits, like waking early or reading 10 pages, and journal daily. It's all about setting the stage, clearing the decks, getting basic structure.
Resetting the system. Okay, month 2.
Month 2 is Focia Guess. Reduce distractions, limit social media, double down on digital discipline. Really embed that daily reading learning habit. Start light, consistent workouts. Sharpening concentration, expanding knowledge, embedding movement.
Building focus and routine. Month 3.
Month 3 is build. Now you set specific goals. 1 clear personal goal, 1 career or financial goal. Deepen your routines, make them more robust, and track progress weekly, crucial for accountability. Moving from general habits to targeted achievement.
Getting specific. Month 4.
Month 4 is expand. Time to branch out. Try that side hustle. Actively improve relationships using your emotional intelligence. Start networking, join groups, push your comfort zone, applying your growth outwards.
Engaging with the world differently. Month 5. Month 5 is refine. Optimization time. Review what's working well, ditch what's not. Fine-tune your systems. Stay super consistent, double down on momentum, making your new lifestyle more efficient and effective.
Tweaking and improving. And the final month? Month 6.
Month 6 is level UP. Celebrate your progress, vital. Set new goals for the next 6 months, it's ongoing. And fully embrace your new identity. Acknowledge the transformation, consolidate the gains, look ahead.
Wow, that's a journey from reset to level up. And the end result. It's more than just ticking off habits, isn't it?
So much more. The promise is profound. By the end of 6 months, you won't just have new habits. You'll have a new mindset, a new lifestyle, a new identity.
A new identity. That's the core transformation.
It really is. It's that ontological shift we mentioned. You don't just act different, you are different. The source puts it so vividly. You'll walk differently, think differently, speak differently. You'll know your worth. You'll own your power.
That's a fundamental change in being.
It is, moving from reactive to proactive, from uncertain to confident. And maybe the most poignant part is that secret victory.
What's that?
No one will understand your journey. No one will see the battles you fought in silence, but you will know. And that's enough. You did it for you.
The internal validation, knowing you did the work.
Exactly. That's the deepest reward, knowing you changed your life one damn day at a time.
What an incredible framework. This deep dive really shows how 6 focused months built on mindset, habits, discipline, environment, finances, emotional intelligence, it really can reshape everything.
It hammers home that message, doesn't it? You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are becoming. That potential is always there.
So as we wrap up, here's something to chew on, a thought for you listening. Give yourself 6 months not to chase perfection, but to pursue progress.
Yeah.
What could your one day at a time look like for the next 180 days? What's your first step? Just one.
That first step, however small, is everything. It starts the whole cascade.
You've already taken one step just by tuning in, by considering this possibility. You listened. Maybe you believe it's possible. Now, it's time to act. Let's make the next 6 months your most powerful chapter yet.
If this audiobook inspired you, imagine what the next one will do. Subscribe now and turn your time into transformation, one audiobook at a time. Hit the bell so you never miss the words that could change your world.